All right, today I wanted to talk about comfort. You're not busy, you're just comfortable. That's the harsh reality, but it's a lot of people's truth as to why they're still overweight, out of shape, fat, what have you. Yeah, it's a main driver for stagnation, plateaus, just comfortability in general. People arrive at a state and a spot that's okay, bills are paid, comfort's good, and they're like, oh, I'll start here, I'll start there, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. So it's that the pain isn't enough because comfort's built up so much, and you see it a lot, like I used to work a HVAC job. What was I just saying? Yeah, I used to work an HVAC job, and a couple of the guys, we all kind of went through school together, same timeline. And I got my license, took the test as soon as I could, and I don't really know why you wouldn't. You do all the classes, you get all the qualifications, you're in good standing with the HVAC board or whatnot, and then you apply, pay $100, take the test, boom, you got your license. And it went like a year, 2 years, and I was still the only one out of us three that had gone through all that to have our license. And a lot of guys are like, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. And some guys still don't have it, but they still are in good standing. All they have to do is take the test. They did all the classes, they paid for all the classes and everything. And it's like, why? And that's a good explanation and a good example here, because it's like they're comfortable. The money they're making, they were already in kind of a mobile group situation, so it really wouldn't have changed their financial situation at all. So they were comfortable, and you would ask them, I'm just busy, I'll do it here, I'll do it there, I got a side job here, I got vacation here, I'm going here, this, that. And it's like they're really just comfortable in life, and they didn't want to, everything was fine, which is fine. Everybody can live how they want to live. But it's a way for your mind to justify not continuing, not bettering yourself, not chasing your goals. And because as kids I grew up with, they wanted the world, But it's like, why do you stop here? Especially in that scenario, why don't you just take the test, see what else is out there, maybe jump ship, another company, bigger bucks, always chasing more. Why aren't we always looking for the highest paying job, and how can I get another buck here and switch this there and switch that and get a new experience? It's because people are comfortable with the money they're making, and they'd rather stay in an environment that they're familiar with for the next 40 years than take a shot and take a risk and change that environment. So yeah, with fitness and with weight loss, you hear that, I'll start when I'm going on a vacation, I'm going to freaking Dubai or something, I don't know, a couple months, I just did school, I just did that, got to take some time off, and then I'll get around to my goals. It's like, that's fine, it's all good, but that you're still just justifying, I'm busy, and it's like, you're not busy, you're just comfortable with where you're at, and you're not as serious as you say you are. So for me, the part of just being busy, I got something here, I got something there, you always wait for the perfect time, so you can bring that back in. Everybody waits for the perfect time. They want the perfect schedule. They want the perfect amount of money in their bank account. They want the perfect and if you keep going down that rabbit hole, it's like, well, there's never a perfect time. I'm wearing the wrong hat, or the background, the LED strip over here that I put up, and spent an hour and a half putting up all over, decided to fall off because I used the wrong fucking tape. But you could play that rabbit game all day long. The dog peed on the rug, so now I can't do this, or now I can't do that, or I'm tired, I can't go to the gym, or it's like, life isn't perfect. You wake up, every single day is different. You never know what you're going to wake up to. And I mean, even if you live alone and you don't have a job and you live the exact same day, day to day to day, something in the day is going to be different. Something's going to change. I don't know. Something's going to fall off the counter. You're going to have to clean it up. Or somebody's going to ring the doorbell and, I don't know, want you to be a Jehovah's Witness or something. Like, you never know. Life's constantly changing, and there's never going to be a perfect utopia aspect that you're looking for and waiting for, especially if you've been doing it for 20, 30 years. It's like, bro, it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So it's like, why do you think it's going to be different this time? You're like, oh, last time I fell off, because vacations. It's like, okay, what about now? Oh yeah, I got some work stuff coming up. Okay. It's like, so you're going to lock in when? Oh, yeah, after the work stuff. Gotcha. So what's the plan? Same as what I was doing before. Okay, so how's that gonna work if it didn't work before? Oh, I'm going to focus and lock in this time. It's like, dude, you just don't want it enough, bro. Just say that. It's fine. Nobody has to go into the gym every single day. Nobody's forcing you to. Whatever. You could be really fucking fat your whole fucking life and whatever. Nobody's judging, Everybody can live how they want to live, but the difference is, like, most people are living in pain and just want to justify it with one way or another. And I'm just busy, or I like less, or I'm comfortable, or it's genetics, or I'm big boned, or like everybody's got their own justification to squash that emotion and squash that pain on a day-to-day basis, because we're all humans. We all feel the same, I would think, or at least most of the guys that I've talked to. we all feel the same about just weight loss in general. And if you're constantly like, oh, I'm busy, it is just squashing that pain. So figure out a way to, okay, yeah, I am putting a Band-Aid on this pain. Fine. How do I rip that Band-Aid off and heal the pain? It's going to require a pretty big belief switch. And for me, I was like, okay, I guess life is busy. Life isn't perfect. I'm going to have to just lay things in and figure out how to structure the goals I want to chase around my lifestyle. Even on the worst days, how can you move the needle towards your goals? Always be moving the needle. Some days you're going to move the needle much faster than other days, but as long as on the worst days you are moving the needle in some directions, like, that's the plan you need to stick to. It's not about, all right, 90 days, that's all it takes, 90 days, and then I can revert back to what I was doing. No, you can't. It's slow and steady, and you slowly change your lifestyle. Because your lifestyle now is what? Twinkies, cheeseburgers, chips, Ben and Jerry's, and you hit the bed. It's like, okay, cool. We can work with that. We can make some slow changes, but we need to slowly transition that towards the 4 or 5 meals a day, chicken and rice, protein shake. Not just like, all right, I'm gonna eat like shit for the next month, and then I'll decide to lock in on my goals and just flip the script and 5 meals a day of chicken and rice. I was talking about this yesterday with who was I talking about with? I went to my cousin's graduation party. I don't know, I talked to a lot of people, but somebody there I was talking to, and I was like, well, it's like my system works so well because most people think, all right, I'm 500 pounds and I'm eating Twinkies for breakfast and I'm eating McDonald's all day long, that I need to just instantly switch it into a super healthy diet and train 5 times a week. That's like, would you bet your money that person's going to stick to that? And it's like, no, obviously not. Who the hell would bet their money on that? Especially this person's 400 or 500 pounds. They've been doing it for 30 years. Not very good odds. I mean, I like gambling, but I would not put money on that. So it's like, okay, if you put it like that, it's obvious. Now, all right, let's take one Twinkie out, keep doing that for a little bit. 1 day a week of exercise. Great. We lose 10 pounds. The fucking guy's 500 pounds. Like, of course, one little lever we pull. All right, cool. Then you pull another lever, he loses another 10 pounds. Cool. Pull another lever. You see what I mean? And then 2 years down the road, you've pulled all the right levers. This guy's now 250 pounds, living a completely different life. Slow and steady, but he's doing everything day to day and integrating it into his lifestyle. And that's the part that, I don't know, it's not like it gets missed, but it's just, it goes over most people's heads because of the emotional part of all this, and losing weight, and how you feel in the gym, and how you feel day to day, and you have this physique goal, so it's on your mind of how you look every single day, and what are you weighing, and it's all mental. But the fact that people think it's like, all right, 90 days, lock in 800 calories a day, we'll just eat fucking lettuce, and then we're good to go. It's like people still think that, and they've yo-yoed their whole life. And I'm not like sitting on this hierarchy and talking down. I've been here myself, trust me. I was like, I know what I'm doing, you know. I'll do this again, I'll do that again. It's like, I did this before, I lost 30 pounds before, why can't I lose 30 pounds again? And it's like, well, you regained the 30 pounds, so why are you going to use the same method that you did at first, right? Let's switch methods, and then try that out, right? You really like your keto, your carnivore, you want to try different, try it out, try it all out. But if you yo-yo after all of them, they don't work. And you gotta find one that you could do pretty much to the day you die. Find something you're happy with, right? I mean, my aunt, my mom, my grandmother, on both sides, actually, I've given meal plans, and they're making progress. And I mean, in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, it's like, how much progress can you realistically make, right? But the belief change, and okay, can you eat this for the rest of your life every single day? Yeah, I enjoy these meals, this is what I eat. Okay, perfect. You can figure out how to add a little protein in here and there. All right, you can, yeah, perfect, awesome, great. Keep doing this. And so it's a personalized plan for them that they could do for the rest of their life, and they're moving the needle towards their goals, and they still feel like they're eating and living how they previously were. It was pretty much the same foods, just a little bit different structured. And it's all lifestyle dependent, as I've talked about, it's all personal, depending on your job, your lifestyle, your sleep schedule, your work schedule, or your weekend schedule. Like, all the different individual variables plays a role into all that. But again, you don't have to live like a bodybuilder to look decent. You know, if you want to step on stage and drop down to 8%, 6% body fat, yeah, that's going to take a little different level of locking in, quote unquote. But for the most part, I mean, you can layer in the habits of having a six-pack and being 10, 12% body fat year-round into pretty much any lifestyle. If you want to argue that, let's have at it, but I will definitely stick with that. I mean, there's not only if there's a will, there's a way, but if there's enough knowledge and the correct plan in place, then yeah, you can make results like you wouldn't believe. It's just most people are constantly justifying. They don't even realize it too. Like, I didn't even realize it until you break everything down. Like, why do I say all these excuses to myself, or why am I just procrastinating my big goals, procrastinating? And it's like, well, you're just comfortable, you know, you're just like, right now, you don't have enough pain built up. And it really wasn't until I had enough pain built up where I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out and do what it takes. And like most of us, we do the carnivore, the keto, the paleo, the yada yada yada, and then we finally figure out, oh hey, okay, maybe it's I should just live a normal life here and eat a little less, eat a little more at times if I'm growing or if I'm trying to lose weight, and keep things pretty simple. I mean, I'm sure you guys see on my stories, I'm not the guy with 6 types of veggies and 4 types of fruits and 4 types of proteins. And I mean, dude, I'll do steak and rice and a scoop of super greens 3-4 times a day. If it hits your macros, but Does it work for you? Is it simple? Can you meal prep it quick? Yeah. It's like I do a lot of desk work, a lot of driving around, and for me, it's like cooking stuff, 3-4 days of protein, and then 20-15 minutes maybe for rice, pasta, potatoes, and boom, maybe cook a vegetable. That's like, for me, that's easy. Some people, sandwiches, they go out for lunch. It's like you structure all that in. Not to ramble on about like how my plan and everything works, but no, I think people, there's never a perfect time. Like even on vacation, like I'm still hitting my goals and moving the needle towards my goals. I'm just sitting on the couch all day long, and I don't know. You gotta look out on a weekly total. It's not a everyday thing. You don't have to do. You don't have to do everything every single day, but as long as you're slowly moving the needle towards your goals, then yeah, I would focus on that. Like I said, it's not about waiting for the perfect time. It's not about just any of that. It's like, okay, what lifestyle am I living currently? Yeah, maybe it'll change in a few months. So that's where a lot of people get stuck to, is like, okay, I got school coming up, or summer's coming up, or vacation's coming up, or it's like, all right, well, what kind of plan, or how could you take what you're doing right now and wrap it around traveling and vacations and like all those foreseeable events upcoming? Like, what could you start to do now and integrate and get used to, that once you get to that point, it's like, oh yeah, I can still hit my goals and still move towards that. But yeah, I guess it's enough ranting on this topic for today. But it's definitely a big one. A lot of people are comfortable with where they're at, It's like they're comfortable in their mommy's house, they're comfortable in the daddy's basement, whatever it is, It's like they're comfortable with their decent paying job, bills are paid. It's like, but they still got that burning passion. It's like, yeah, figure out how to squash it and realize that you can hit any goal. You just have to figure out how to layer it into your lifestyle. And we're all human. Elon Musk is, yeah, sure, he's working a lot, probably much more than most of us could even fathom, but he's got teams of people, he's got different levers to pull, and we all feel the same emotions, some more, some less, but he's figured out how to layer in all those goals he's had into his lifestyle. Yeah, sure, there's some luck involved with all that, but again, any successful goal or any big thing you want to strive for and try for, you need to figure out how to layer in those habits around your lifestyle. I know I hit on that big, but yeah, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Everybody's comfortable, and if you're comfortable, you're not moving towards your goals, and you're not improving as a person in general. So the anxiety and putting yourself in those situations is uncomfortable at first. It's going to progress change, and that's what's going to allow you to shrink the gap or shrink the distance between where you're at now and where you want to be. That makes sense. Over time, you'll get there if you can continue that mindset. But yeah, I'll leave it off right there. Control the mental game, and you can control pretty much anything. So don't allow comfort to kill your dreams. But with that being said, this is where we at, Sunday midday. So enjoy your day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.